Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome each and every one of you to a new League of Legends video. So today we'll be going over various topics, including a new league for the SWAIN rework, which is the next big thing coming up, most likely in January, and a bunch of other things, including also that potentially Yasuo's brother called Yon or Yoni or something like that may be a champion in the future for League of Legends as well, and also talking about the next new champion after SWAIN, which is going to be an ADC. Now, some of this stuff is true, some of it's not, some of it's, just obviously leaks, are always, some true, some false, and things like that. So I thought I'd combine all three of these things into one video rather than making one video for all three of them instead, just so it's a bit more interesting. Now, the first thing I want to start talking about is actually going to be the one thing that is pretty much confirmed, and that's the next new champion after SWAIN rework is going to be an ADC. Now, there's a Reddit thread made right here that we'll go over very quickly that links us to posts, which if you click on them, it brings us to these posts, right? So the first of which is here. Can I ask who is working on the new champion, or too soon to say? Essentially the new champion after SWAIN, right? You can see it's only about a month ago. The one after Zoe, well, it's going to be Riot Jag. Now, you guys might be wondering, who's Riot Jag? Well, we'll go into that soon. The one after that is Endless Pillows, right? So he talks about, how Riot Jag is also working on the Aatrox rework and stuff like that, but apparently, people work on two things at the same time and whatever. Now, let's go over, who is this Riot Jag person, right? Well, this is his Twitter right here. He's actually the guy that designed Camille. Well, I personally think he's a pretty cool champion. Very fun, very interactive, very just nice concept, and all in all, a well-made champion, right? Now, he's going to be designing the next champion that is supposed to be an ADC, because this post right here apparently states that this guy thinks that, Riot Jag's next champion might be support, but then this guy states, actually, Jag's next champion is the role that he mains, which I'll leave up to you to dig up. Right now, I don't know if this guy's like a Riot or if he's someone that has leak information or whatever, but essentially he says that the next champion designed by Riot Jag, which we already know, is going to be his main champion or main role, which if you go on his profile and click on this, for instance, you can see he has posted a thing saying that he got level 7 with Vayne and things like that, and apparently his main role, as people have found out, is actually ADC. So the next new champion after SWAIN is going to be an ADC, essentially confirmed right here, right now, and yeah, I mean, there you guys have it. He's confirming that he's working on the next new champion. Here you can see the designer of Camille and all that good stuff. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's the first thing that's essentially confirmed, that the next new champion is going to be designed by Riot Jag, the guy that made Camille. That is also most likely going to be an ADC champion. Now, after that, let's go into talking about the new SWAIN leak, right? So we already know that there's a big post over here on the Nexus League of Legends, a champion roadmap that was put up about 2.5 months ago-ish, talking about the SWAIN rework, right? Giving us further details and how they want to make him more of an actual master tactician champion and things like that, and more kind of like a warlock-ish sort of vibe to SWAIN, which is also something to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and talk about what exactly that means for us here. So if you go into this post right here that I have a screenshot of, you can see upcoming skins, which we'll go over very quickly, though that's not the main topic. Dragon Master SWAIN, which I'm assuming he'll come out with, assuming it's true. We got several Star Guardian skins for Talia, Evelynn, Zoe, Sejuani, Caitlyn, which not really sure how I feel about the Sejuani one. I can see these ones. Not really sure if I feel I can see a Sejuani one. Vivid Sun Leona and Gentle Moon Diana. Now, makes sense, Diana is a moon champion, Leona is a sun-based champion. They're both kind of rivals, so it makes sense that they'll both get this kind of opposite skin, similar to how Riven and Yasuo got the two skins for themselves that were kind of the versus thing. But let's go over the actual SWAIN rework passive here. So check it out. Passive. When SWAIN kills an enemy ward, he is granted an extra charge on his trinket, 50% effective on control wards, so only restores half the cooldown of a charge. Now keep in mind, they want to try to make SWAIN, his title is the Master Tactician. They actually want him to be a Master Tactician, something that is actually befitting of such a role, on top of also being more warlocky, right? So we have this one passive, which is, it's not a bad passive, but it definitely gives him more ward coverage, gives him more of a tactical approach, if you will. All right. It's cute. SWAIN sends Beatrice or whatever, which is the little raven he has on his shoulder, to attack a target location and mark it. If an enemy walks over our mark, Beatrice quickly roots them for a short period. Alright, I mean, that's, a fairly decent ability. It's very fitting of a Q ability where he just throws the bird down, attacks a target location, marks it, and then if an enemy walks over it, boom, they get rooted. Alright, that's a, definitely a little bit more of a tactical approach, kind of taking his OW and combining his current Q with his current W as well, just putting him into one. I mean, I can see it, it makes sense. Doesn't seem too OP, kind of seems fitting of SWAIN, and it is fairly believable. W. Swain marks a target area and it begins to charge. Swain may then recast immediately or wait for it to charge further. Think something like a Janet Q. Upon being recasted, large talons, that's kind of oddly worded, upon being recast, large talons emerge, racing towards a targeted direction, knocking back enemies and applying an effect similar to his ult E for a short period of time. Deals much less damage but still amplifies other damage. So apparently, you know, it just seems kind of like a trap almost that he puts on the ground where you can either cast it instantly or, you know, a little bit after, and he just repositions people and puts them in a position that he wants them to be in, whether that's, I'm assuming, farther away or closer away. Knocking back enemies, so I'm assuming it's only farther away maybe, I don't know. And applying an effect that essentially makes them take amplified damage, very similar to his old, or his, I guess his current E. Following this, we have his actual E ability that is assuming part of this rework, which we have, which states rather, sends a Raven in a targeted location. So, you know, quite a bit of abilities with his Raven here. A little bit weird that he has 2 abilities with his Raven, though. Not really sure how I feel about that. In a targeted location, granting vision for a short period of time. You may then recast to cast on AoE damage spell around the Raven, dealing magic damage, or dealing damage and slowing enemies. I mean, it seems a little bit too similar to his Q. You know, his Q already throws his Raven down B-Choice and then does, you know, damage in an AoE more or less and roots them. This one is kind of similar where it throws the Raven also in the target location, gives you vision, and then you can either recast it or I guess you cannot and maybe it comes back to you or something. And it just deals damage around and slows them as well. A little bit skeptical on that one. I'm not gonna lie. A little bit skeptical on that one. I mean, way too close to his Q. It's essentially the same thing, just very slightly different effects. A little bit weird. I'm a little bit fishy. I'm not gonna lie. And then we go into his ultimate. Swain transforms into a Raven. Okay, so you know, like his current ultimate, makes sense. Instantly restoring a percentage of his health. While in this form, Swain passively deals damage around him and gains spell vamp. Still very similar, I think. Swain may recast his ability to exit his form and root enemies close to him for a short period of time. So, you know, very similar vibes to his current Swain ultimate. Now, I believe they did state something along the lines of how they did want to keep certain abilities within his kit somewhere. I don't remember where exactly. But they did want to keep certain abilities within his kit similar. Like, for instance, they still wanted him to transform, I believe, and they still wanted his Q to be this, you know, Raven using ability as well. So in that sense, it kind of makes sense. But it is very, very close to his current ultimate, right? And I mean, he can recast it to exit the form, and as you exit the form, you root enemies close to him, which I can see. Actually, that'd be a pretty cool addition. You know, it makes sense. You know, it combines his other abilities very well, and he just has a lot of CC. Like pretty much every single ability actually has a CC, other than no, actually, literally every ability. This has a root. This has like some kind of moving, you know, pushing away ability, or CC, some kind of knockback CC, I guess, if you will. His E ability has apparently a slowing AoE, and his ultimate has an AoE, I'm assuming, roots, which is quite a bit of CC. So I'm not sure how I feel about this, you know, quote-unquote leak. I'm gonna go ahead and call this one potentially false. I think there's too many things here that just don't make, you know, too much sense, but maybe it's true. We don't really know for sure. Up until the SWAIN rework goes live, I'm assuming in January, but, you know, you guys can let me know down below what you think about this leak over here. And before we end off things, I want to go quickly talk about another leak that came out that actually suggests that Yasuo's brother, Yon, may be a new champion. So, you know, we have a leak over here that someone sent me on Twitter, and you can see, you know, League of Legends leaked 2017, 2018. Now, I got the project skins correct. Now, keep in mind, this leak got sent to me very close to when the project skins got announced. I don't remember if it was before or after. But with this being said, you know, these were correct, the 4, but these ones were incorrect, as we already know what the current snow skins are. Neither of these are right at all, right? There's a whole bunch of other skins like Warren Kingdom, Nasus, Renekton, Zerath, you know, which makes sense. They're all from the exact same lore, all from the Shuriman area, and it's roughly, and you know, Azir obviously is part of it as well. Blood Moon, Aurelion Sol, LeBlanc, Sona, Rek'Sai. I'm not sure if Rek'Sai and Aurelion Sol will get a Blood Moon skin. That sounds a little bit weird, honestly. Heartseeker, Zion, and Kindred. You know, I mean, I could see it, I guess. You know, Zion and Rakan, of course, got their sweethearts right there. Not sure why Nami's getting one, though. And Heartseeker, Kindred, I guess I can see it since it is technically 2 champions, though it's also a little skeptical. But then we go into Academy, Lux, Varus, and Yon. You can see right here. Yon, if you don't know, is Yasuo's brother. If you go into Yasuo's lore over here, you can see how Yasuo, you know, he escapes from his, you know, village because they thought that he's a traitor, and then Yon, his brother, tracks him down, tries to take him in back to his, you know, village and whatnot, but then Yasuo essentially kills him, right? And you can see here, Yasuo buried Yon under the rising sun, etc., etc. This is why okay, there's parts that make this believable and not believable, right? According to this lore, Yon he's supposed to be dead, right? So I mean, you can't really have a dead champion unless he somehow got risen from the grave by like some, you know, Carthus or some shit, or York, I don't know, or something like that. And you know, he's like a zombie-ish kind of samurai champion. Or the other option is the fact that Riot is actually rewriting and, you know, redoing a lot of the lore, like they recently did with Varus, for instance. And they're essentially revamping the League of Legends lore quite a bit. And maybe, who knows, maybe by the time the Yon champion comes out, Yasuo's brother, Yasuo's lore will be slightly different. Maybe Yasuo's brother is no longer dead in the new lore. I don't know. I'm just trying to see if I can find a way to make this believable. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting regardless, you know, if we can actually have Yasuo's brother, who's known to be one of the more known and I guess infamous champions in League of Legends, to have his own brother as a champion, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that's about it for this video, guys. There you have it. I mean, got a bunch of information. Again, quick recap. We have the next new champion being an ADC designed by the Camille designer that is going to be coming out after Swain. We have the SWAIN little rework kind of thing that I talked about, the new leak for the SWAIN rework, and we also have Yasuo's brother Yon that may potentially be a champion in the future. But again, this and also SWAIN are both leaks, right? They could be 100% true, half true, none at all, you know, true, 0%. Don't know for sure. But however, this one is pretty much confirmed, where the next champion will be designed by Mr. Jag, and is going to be, and he's the designer of Camille, which we know 100%. Is going to be the champion coming out after Swain, which we pretty much know 100%. And, you know, it's pretty much confirmed that it's also going to be an ADC champion as well. But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. There you have it. Haven't done one of these videos, you know, about leaks and stuff in a long time. They're always very interesting, in my opinion, to, you know, check out and see exactly what's happening and what potential things may come to League of Legends and what may not. And even if they're false, it's still pretty cool to talk about and just to see, you know, what can actually happen in League of Legends and what kind of ideas are sort of, you know, brewing, if you will, and whether it's, you know, Riot's mind or, you know, fans' mind, because Riot does take a lot of ideas and things like that from fans, you know, fan-created champions, and essentially transform it into their own version of that champion. So, you know, it's not completely far-fetched. But either way, guys, that's it for this video. There you have it. Some new juicy information, 3 things that I just mentioned. And yeah, let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Share with your friends. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit it with that like button. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Thank you for watching, guys. Peace.